Welcome to Tacos with Terry. Save me a piece of that corn. So we just happened to be passing through Oklahoma, and of course we couldn't resist meeting Mike and Terry. But Mike heard we were coming, and he bailed.
He's so bad. He's so rude.
This is the brave one, Terry.
So Terry was brave, and so we're going to have tacos or whatever with Terry.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask her some questions and find out just who is this Terry of MT Homestead.
So you're saying that of all the places that you recently lived, that you love Arizona the most. Why is that?
Dude, I have allergies really bad. So the desert climate works really well for me. But yeah, I can't get Mike to go back there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so hot there.
Yeah. Well, he grew up in Mesa and Gilbert area.
Okay.
So he was in the valley, and it was really hot there. We lived like 12 miles from the border in Sierra Vista, which it wasn't so bad. It's a high desert, so it was pretty nice. And I really loved it down there. The scenery is pretty. I love the cactus, desert cactus. It's awesome. But yeah, and I really liked Korea. I loved Korea. So.
Did you guys learn very much Korean? It seems like such a hard language.
I learned just enough to get by. I could say hello, I could say goodbye, I could say thank you, the basics, the niceties, I guess. I could say it's delicious.
Oh.
How do you say it's delicious?
Mashi soyo.
I remember that.
Yeah, mashi soyo.
How long were you in Korea?
We were there 5 years. We started off, we were in Camp KC Red Cloud, so up north by the DMZ.
Oh, wow.
And we were there for 2.5 years there. And then he got a promotion, moved down to Daegu, which is a city of like 4.6 million people.
Little.
And it was crazy.
Is that like near Seoul?
No, we were closer to Seoul when we were up north.
Oh, okay.
We were basically like 20 miles from Seoul, but getting to Seoul, it took a good hour because of traffic and crazy.
How did you cope with all those people? Did that not bother you?
Not really. The traffic was horrible. The drivers there were horrible. But the people themselves are very friendly and not, they're very nice people, and they are very prideful people, so they take care of themselves and their surroundings.
So they're not obnoxious, even though there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and it's very safe there.
Yeah.
Super safe. There's cameras everywhere. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you even thought about committing a crime of some sort, they would be right on top of you. It's no. So yeah, it was super safe. I felt comfortable going out on public transportation, which was excellent. They had the subways and the buses and all kinds of public transportation, and it was cheap. So you could travel all over South Korea really cheap.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And the plus side was, because we were stationed with the government, we didn't have to pay for housing while we were there. So we were able to use that money and go travel to other countries. So we went to Philippines, we went to Thailand, we went to Guam, we went to Australia, Italy, all from Korea. We went to Macau and Hong Kong. So yeah, it was awesome. Every Thanksgiving we would go on a trip because you can't cook a turkey in an oven this big. So yeah, it's like, okay, we'll just go somewhere.
And probably most of those places just like an hour or two away, or by flight?
Australia was a little farther. It was probably about a 7-hour flight to Australia.
How about like the Philippines? How close
Philippines
is that?
was about a 2.5-hour flight, 3-hour flight. I'd go down to Jeju Island. That was about an hour, maybe. Guam.
Tell me about Guam.
Guam. I love Guam. I would live on Guam.
What's it like?
It's pretty small. It takes you about an hour maybe to drive around the entire island. But there's a really nice Air Force base on one end and a Navy base on the other end. Yeah, very well kept. And then in between, they have the tourist section on one side.
Oh, right here.
So, yeah, and then they had the tourist section that had all the upscale shopping, like they had Gucci and all the big name stuff.
Really?
And the nice hotels. The back side of the island didn't have as much. It was more like the Guam native people. Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Thank you.
I absolutely loved it. Temperatures were great. You know, it was nice, moderate 80s. 85 degrees or so.
Oh, nice.
Nice ocean breeze.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, I got to show this. Look at this. I've never seen this.
So it's a fajita inside of a pineapple.
And let me see if you can hear it sizzling. Isn't that awesome? I've never tried this. This is going to be fun.
Mike loves it.
Yeah, one of the favorite things we tried when we would travel from Oregon and back to Kansas, there was, what was that place? It's called
Don't burn yourself.
Costa Vida, and they had a thing like this but with an avocado, and it was like these giant avocados, and they would do the same
that'd be
thing.
good.
They would put all the stuff in. And it was cool because then you can eat the whole
Right. I went to
avocado.
Waco to go see my daughter, and we went to Las Cucos, and they had an avocado, stuffed avocado.
Oh.
So, but I didn't try it. I should have. I love avocado.
Yeah, after we had it, we were always like, oh man, we need to get another one.
Do you want to say grace so we can
Let's
begin?
say a little prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you that we can get together with Terry and have a little conversation, get to know her a little better, and bless our time together and bless this fellowship. In Jesus' name, amen.
I don't get any
So-
silverware.
Nope, you got the tortillas.
Okay.
You gotta use your finger. I gotta spoon you.
Good
So
enough.
what was your favorite part of Korea? Like, what did you like best?
Well, I love being able to travel. That was great because it was cheaper to travel from there than if you go somewhere from the States. It costs more. But I love the food. Again, went to see my daughter in Waco. We went down to Colleen, and they had a really nice Korean restaurant that she found, and it was just like being back in Korea. It was awesome. I was like, oh, this is cool.
What's your favorite Korean dish?
I like the Korean barbecue, but they do have pork belly. So they have a burner on the table and a vent thing that comes down, and then they give you a grill on your table, and they have pork belly and
Extra set of silverware and an extra plate. Thank you.
they do a Jeju black pork. So it's these black pigs that they raise on Jeju Island, and it is the best pork ever. So yeah, it was really good. Any Korean food, really. I love Korean food.
Yeah.
Bulgogi. I love bulgogi. I can make it, so I'm good with that.
Oh, really?
I made it one time, but it was a disaster.
Thank
Well,
you.
next time you guys come through,
Awesome.
I'll make you some bulgogi.
Let's put this here. Then you can use that little plate, and I'll use this little plate. Sound good? Yeah, I was in Korea, I don't know if I told you, just briefly, like a week and a half or something like that. And it was amazing, like when you eat at the restaurants, how like you'd order one thing and they just keep bringing you all these little side dishes.
Banchan. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, what is all this?
Yeah,
it was like
bring you
so,
all banchan.
and they just keep coming.
Yeah, and then they'll give you like leaves that you're supposed to take the meat, put it in the leaf, and use the banchan in it, and then wrap it, and then stick the whole thing in your mouth.
Oh, I probably didn't do that right. And then I remember, like you said, how they take pride in the country. I remember, like, the subways were, like, so clean. Like, you go in a subway bathroom, and it looked like a 5-star hotel bathroom.
Oh, the amazing. I loved the rest stops in
Oh,
Korea.
yeah.
When you're driving, you stop at a rest stop. So, like, here you stop at a restaurant or a rest stop, and there's, like, okay, a bathroom, maybe a little dog park.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There you stop, and they had shopping, and they had food.
Oh,
and
wow. I
the
didn't even see that, I don't think.
The bathrooms
That's awesome.
in each one would have different kind of theme to it. And one that I went in had like an airplane theme. So when you went in the stall, it looked like you were in an airplane kind of deal. And it was just weird. But the thing I really loved was the bathroom stalls. Instead of having a big gap at the bottom like we have here, it completely closes and it has the light so you can tell if somebody's in the bathroom.
Oh,
so
I like
nice.
that.
They have very nice restrooms.
Yeah, Europeans often talk about how weird it is that we have the big gaps. But they're convenient. You can see if somebody's in there.
But like I said, these had the light, so it was either it was green if you could go in, or red if somebody was in. So it was nice.
Even better.
And then I will say though, there are the squatty potty bathrooms there too that you kind of gotta in older buildings. And it's you go in. They've got like little footprint on the floor, and that's where you're supposed to put your feet, and then you gotta squat to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like camping. So I loved Korea. I really did.
How many years did you say?
5 years.
5 years, wow. And did you say you grew up in Arizona? Is that where you were born and raised?
No, Mike grew up in Arizona. I grew up in Missouri. You guys just went through Missouri. I saw that you were down in
Willow Springs?
Valley. Was it Valley Spring or Valley Mills is what you put?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So it's Valley Springs.
Oh, okay.
And
that's where my aunt and uncle took us, yeah.
I lived north of that, up on I-44.
Okay.
But I've been down there, and it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, okay. My aunt and uncle live, I think, about a half an hour from there.
Oh, cool.
In Willow Springs.
Yeah.
Just minutes from Arkansas. In fact, they took us for lunch in Arkansas at some fish place. Which was fun. But they just moved out here too from the West Coast.
Oh, cool.
They moved right around the time we went and told them like, hey, we're thinking of moving to Kansas, and they're like, oh, we're thinking of moving to Missouri. It was crazy. But they were kind of like us, like we need to get out of the West Coast because it's just kind of gone downhill.
Yep.
So Missouri until what age?
So I lived in Missouri all through until I was 17. Got out of high school. I moved to Massachusetts. I had taken health occupations in high school, planned on being a nurse. My aunt in Massachusetts ran a medical clinic, so I was going to go up there and work for her and then go to school.
Oh, okay.
I quickly learned that wasn't for me.
Good. I'm glad you quickly learned that.
And
That after years of work or something.
and I didn't like Massachusetts at all.
Was it the climate, the people, or what?
Yeah, a little of all of that.
Everything.
Yeah, because people seem cold, and I mean I'm from Missouri, and everybody waves when you go down the road, and it's different. Yeah.
Right.
So it was just
rough.
different. And I mean, there were a lot of people up there I loved. I mean, I love my aunt, but it just wasn't for me, and it didn't feel like home. It was my first big time away from home, so I got homesick.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I moved back, and then I ended up marrying my high school boyfriend, and we moved to Washington State. Lived in Everett, just outside of Seattle.
Yeah, we know that area.
We were there, well, I was there for a year, that didn't go well. He had some issues. So, yeah, I left.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, I came back, and then I ended up getting remarried. I had 2 children. And then, again, still not the right person. You know, it happens. So then I ended up, Mike and I met, I think in 2006 on MySpace.
Oh, well, yeah, I remember MySpace.
Yeah.
We kind of met on Facebook, but we knew each other from when we were kids.
But Facebook is responsible for that. We would have never reconnected.
Yeah. So yeah, we met on MySpace, and I was in a relationship at the time, boyfriend kind of deal. You know, I'm like, did you read my profile? I'm in a relationship. And he's like, I don't care. I was just talking to you. What the heck? So, yeah. So he's like, okay. So we talked a lot and became really good friends. And then when I ended up not with this other person, then he's like, hey, you're not with them. Why don't we go out? Like, okay. So I finally found the right person.
Awesome.
So yeah, it all worked out the way it was supposed to. So
Yeah, we love Mike. He's a great guy.
yeah, he is. He's awesome.
Yeah, what I should point out to the viewers, anybody watching, is that Mike and Terry were like the first people that reached out to us. Like, we didn't even really know much about like the whole YouTube homesteading community, and they were the 2 that, like, I think Mike watched like every video we would put up.
Yeah, he did.
All of a sudden we were seeing all these comments from the same guy, just like back like.
And you're like, man, we gotta stop.
Yeah, we gotta stop it. Which on YouTube you don't mind, because hey, you need those views. I'm just kidding. And then next thing you know, they invited us to interview on your channel.
Yeah.
Which was really awesome, because that gave our channel like a big boost, and we were kind of wondering how to make this go. So, you know, we have another YouTube channel, but it's a whole different ball of wax, because it's it's DIY stuff. So people don't follow it because of us. Like, they don't care about us. They follow it. It's true. It's sad,
just
but
learn how to do something.
Yeah, they want to know how to build a fence, so they watch our video how to build a fence. We'll never see them again.
Right.
You don't really get. I don't think we've ever gotten to know anybody
Really?
from this other channel. And you know that you have their YouTube analytics, and it shows that repeat viewers are less than 1%.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because we didn't know, we had no idea how to do YouTube when we started that channel. It just kind of grew. We were just doing projects, having fun, and it was growing. And then,
Was that the Captain America project channel?
Yeah, she actually started it, and I didn't know anything about it. And then when she told me, like, oh, you can make money at this, then I was like, oh, well, I want to do some stuff too. But so then when we want to eventually do this for a living. We want to make a living out of it. So we're like, I just thought, you need a channel where people are following you. When you put up a video, no matter what it is, they're going to watch it because they're following you and they want to see what you're up to.
Right.
Because the other channel, it's like, we have some videos that go crazy, a lot of people watch them, but then we have a ton of videos that like nobody watches.
Right.
We have so many videos that just have like a few dozen views.
Right.
So it's like, we were trying to get into that, but then we didn't know how it worked. And then you guys reached out and kind of showed us, oh, there's this whole community of people, and they all support each other, and you go on lives with each other.
We love this community. It's an awesome community.
So we're really thankful to you two for like kind of welcoming us into the homesteading world, even though we're not really homesteaders. Although it seems like we welcome everybody, because there's a lot of people that aren't.
Well, and that's what Mike keeps telling people. Don't get into that niche, that certain genre where that's all you are as a homestead. Because you do other things. Everybody does other things. You know, people travel. People, you know, do crafts. They do different things. They're not just homestead.
Right.
So, and it's, you know, you don't want to box yourself in to that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we've noticed while following other YouTubers, I've noticed a trend that oftentimes somebody will have a niche. Like we have a friend of ours that has a fishing channel up north, and he makes tons of fishing videos, but his biggest videos are not fishing videos. One is like he shows how to repair this boat that he did, and some of his, and I've noticed that with other people, sometimes their biggest video is not their niche. So like you're saying, don't box yourself in. do other
Do
stuff
you.
because that might be what people love. You know?
Absolutely, do you. That's why it's YouTube.
Randy, do videos about being a commercial airline pilot. That's fascinating.
Yeah, that was like one of the first YouTubers we met. I think was actually the second. I met this guy out in Roseburg, but I just started. I was looking for Midwest channels when we first moved here.
Right.
And we found him. His channel is called Go Midwest Fishing, and it's really neat. Like he does all these cool drone shots and stuff, and he shows like what lake he's at. He fishes all these different
We'll
lakes.
have to watch that one.
Yeah.
We love fishing channels.
Oh, and Randy's just an awesome guy. And it's funny because he's like so into fishing. That's all he talks about. That's all his channel's about. And then we meet him and we find out he's an airline pilot.
Oh, wow.
He flies commercial airlines, and fishing is just like what he does for fun.
Yeah.
But we were just like, wow, you don't even never talk about being, and that's like, I mean, how many people are airline pilots?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a really cool guy. You should check him out.
Yeah, I definitely will.
He's up in, was it Minnesota?
Text me his page for sure.
No, Minnesota.
Either that or Wisconsin.
What state is Clearwater in? That's where he matters too. Is it Stillwater or Clearwater?
I think it's Minnesota.
Either Minnesota
It's
or Wisconsin.
one of those northerns.
Yeah.
One of those cold
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, and him and his wife shoot weddings too when they're not doing the other
wow,
stuff. So it's
that's
like
cool.
he does like so many different things.
Wow.
But if you watch his channel, you would only know that he fishes. Which he does great fishing videos.
Yeah, we watch a lot of fishing videos. We watch Cole and Jay out of Arkansas, and we watch Richard Jean the fishing machine or whatever he is. But we love him. He's down in Alabama, I think.
Richard G.
So yeah, he used to. I think he was on the pro circuit a long time ago, and now he just fishes for fun. So. But he has a pretty good channel. It's funny. So,
That's what I like.
yeah.
Humorous. We try to be goofy with our stuff.
And see, I've been watching YouTube for a long time. It was always my go-to. If we were going to go somewhere, if we were moving somewhere, I'd always use it to look at different places, you know. What's there? What's fun? You know, what can we do? And then when we were in Arizona, we had looked at going to Korea, so I watched. It was called Eat Your Kimchi. Was the name of the video, the YouTubers, and so I was watching them all the time. And then the Korea thing kind of fell by the wayside, but I still watched them because I love their personalities. They had great personalities. I love this channel. So, and then when we moved to Colorado, I started looking for stuff in Colorado. Didn't hit on anything that just sucked me in and said, oh, I'm going to stick with this channel.
How long were you in Colorado?
We were there for 3 years, I think. Maybe a little over 3 years.
What area was that?
When we first got there, he was working at Fort Carson, so Colorado Springs area. We lived in Woodland Park, up on the mountain, just down from Pikes Peak, just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where that's at?
So we lived there, and then we bought a house down in Pueblo. So we moved down there, well, Pueblo West. So, and then Korea. So, yeah.
So you lived all over the place.
Yeah.
There's no real theme either. They're all different places.
Oh, yeah. All different, and I love it. I love traveling, so that's great.
And how did y'all pick Oklahoma?
Well, I don't know if we picked it or it picked us, but he was looking and job opening came open here at McAllister Army Ammunition Plant for the director's position for morale, welfare, and recreation. And he put in for it, and then we thought it was kind of going to fall through because they had interviewed somebody else, but that went away. And then they're like, okay, you know, you got it. So this was in 2020, pandemic's full swing. So yeah, and it's like, okay, so it took forever to get moved because had all the delays with the airlines and everything. And then I had called our granddaughter's mom and I was talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to be moving back to the States, so we'll be able to spend time with Mackenzie, you know, and because they were living in Missouri last I knew. And she's like, oh, where are you moving? And I said, well, I'm moving to Oklahoma. And she's like, where in Oklahoma? She said, I just moved to Oklahoma.
Oh, no way.
I'm like, what? And she said, yeah. And I said, McAllister. She's like, we're right down the road. That was strange. So then we get here, and we start looking for homes, and we pick a home south, out in Ashland. And we get down there, buy the house, still don't know where our granddaughter's living. We know it's somewhere down south of McAllister. And I called our granddaughter's mom, and she's like, oh, okay. She's like, well, we live in Wardville. I got to looking, and they live 7 miles down a dirt road from us. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, we're right there. So we get to see her all the time now, and it's awesome. That is so awesome. But we ended up coming back kind of on a sad note because we were over there, and Mike's oldest son ended up overdosing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he didn't make it. And we flew back for that, and it was like a big thing. You know, it was like, okay, we don't want to be that far. Don't want to be that far from family anymore. So that's why we came back. So we've still, his son was living in Colorado, his younger son, and they just moved to Edmond, Oklahoma. So they're close now, and of course the granddaughter's 7 miles down the road. And then my daughter now is in Waco, and my son is still in Missouri. So
not too far.
We're kind of central to everybody, so it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So.
That's kind of neat. Like God kind of ordained it.
Yeah.
all
Well,
together.
that's kind of how I look at it. It's like everything pulled together the way it was supposed to be. You know, I don't think things happen by chance. I think there's a hand there that puts you where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That was why we came back. So, you all moved from Oregon to Kansas.
Very randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. Kansas wasn't even on our radar ever.
Well, you had mentioned it. We love to look at different houses on Zillow.
Oh yeah.
And Craig would,
do
check
that
out
too.
Kansas a lot. I didn't think Kansas would be the spot. I thought Nebraska sounds better, but luckily it didn't end up that way. Because I think the winters would be a little bit too harsh for me to handle.
I mean, they're rough in Kansas, but
Yeah.
I think we met somebody that was from the Midwest out in Oregon, and she told us, is it the 80 freeway?
Mm-hmm.
The 80. Yeah, she said anything north of the 80 is like pretty crazy winters. And
Yeah.
she said basically like the further south you get, the more milder it gets. So we were like, okay, let's stay south of the 80.
So, where are you by as far as like
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, well, we're kind of by Salina.
Okay.
We're an hour from Salina, which is a pretty decent city. But other than that, it's all towns of just a couple thousand. Our town is 3,000, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we
town's
don't even
like
live
10.
in. Yeah, we don't even live in that town. We're about 10 miles outside of town.
Yeah. We live in a township that maybe has 10 people. I don't know. There's,
Yeah, that's like us.
Yeah.
We love it. It's so peaceful out there.
Yeah.
And I've never had quite a view like we have in that there's nothing, like there's very few trees. And
Right.
There's no hills or mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, there's little bitty hills, but
Always
it's
said-
like the sun comes up like straight out from you and it sets like straight the other way.
Right.
It's crazy for us. We've never had it. We've always lived where there was mountains.
Oh
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The big joke was always the state tree of Kansas was a telephone pole.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a few trees there. Actually, western Kansas, you might know this, but
Yeah.
I mean not western, eastern Kansas
Eastern, yeah.
has a lot of trees and it's pretty hilly.
Yeah, you get over closer to the Kansas City area,
Yeah.
and
We just got a solar system put in, and we changed around the whole configuration so that we wouldn't have to cut down a tree because they're so precious to us over there in our little plot of land.
Yeah, I think we have.
Where in Oregon we would be like, oh yeah, cut them all down because they're everywhere.
they're everywhere. Yeah,
I think we have like, I don't know, 10 trees on our whole property. That's
Yep.
about it.
Yeah, see, I love Washington State because of the mountains. The mountains were beautiful.
Yeah.
So, but and Colorado was nice. Still prefer Arizona. I just really like that desert climate. But yeah, and it was funny because Mike moved with the military. He was in the army. He had been in Germany for years, and he ended up stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, where I'm from. And he was there probably the longest he's ever been anywhere since he was a kid. And so he loved Missouri because of the hunting, the fishing, everything. And then we moved to Arizona, and I loved Arizona. And I'm like, this is messed up. I'm from Missouri, but I love Arizona. You're from Arizona, and you love Missouri. So I guess we got to pick somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
I always like the desert as well. Like I find it like calming to be in the desert for some reason.
Yep. Yeah, it was nice. I used to go hike up in the mountains in Coronado Mountain and go up there. You had to be careful though because there were a lot of trails where the illegals would.
Oh.
A little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you didn't realize, oh, this isn't an actual trail. This is, their trail, and you get off. And my daughter and I were there one time. We're hiking, and this border patrol agent pops up out of nowhere, and he's like, "You can't be over here." I'm like, "I thought it was a trail." He's like, "No, the trail goes the other way." Okay.
Good thing he's there.
That's a funny surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
Hiking in
he
the
did
mountains
just
and
pop
border
up out
patrol.
of nowhere. There's border patrol. But yeah, and we actually had to go when we would go north from Sierra Vista to go up to Tucson. Then we had to go through a border patrol check every time because there was one right between. Like I said, we live maybe 12 miles from the border.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you live in an area that's, is it part of like the Choctaw Reservation, or is there not reservations around here? Or?
Oh yeah, the whole side, this whole side of the state is reservation.
Oh.
I mean, they just had a big lawsuit over it. So we're actually in Choctaw territory. Our deed on our land, they had to sign off back in the day
Oh, wow.
Oh.
to even sell the land. So yeah, and then there's Muskogee Creek Nation, and I'm trying to think. There's several, but pretty much all of eastern Oklahoma is in tribal land. So yeah, there was a big thing because it was the McGirt case, and he had committed a crime, but he was Native American, and the tribal police did not handle it because who knew he was out in, I don't know, a city somewhere in Oklahoma that they thought wasn't a reservation. Well, technically it never got signed back over. None of them had. So, yeah, I guess it was a whole big deal, and I think they're getting it straightened out now. I don't know.
There's a part of Yellowstone that you can technically commit crimes there and not be prosecuted. Like a little 50, is it like 500 foot, or is it like...
I don't remember. It's a small area.
Oh, yeah.
But it's because it falls outside of... There's nobody that has jurisdiction.
Right.
Because it's something to do with the national parks or federal, and So
Oh, yeah.
somehow there's a guy that does a YouTube video that explains it. But yeah, there's this little plot of land that no one has jurisdiction over. So technically, if he says like killed somebody there, nobody has any
Remind me
precedence.
never to go there with anybody that doesn't like me.
Right. Yeah, because they're saying like there's nobody that could do anything legally.
Yeah,
Here it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's like
the McGirt case got a lot of stuff started here with people saying, "Wait a minute, I'm Native American, and this is." So it was just havoc for a while, and it's like, okay, they all got to figure this out because this could be really bad. You could be letting people out, and I guess this was a bad case that the one guy had been involved in. It wasn't murder, but just as bad. And yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
So whose idea was it to start your YouTube channel?
It was Mike's idea. He's usually more outgoing than me. I hated being on camera. It took forever for me to even agree, okay, I'll be on camera.
I wouldn't have guessed.
I don't mind talking to people, and I love doing the lives because I like talking to people, but I just don't like, I guess I don't like editing myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't like hearing my own voice. And I don't
think anybody does.
Yeah, and it's like
I always say, "Oh, is that what I sound like?"
Yeah, right. Like I sound like that, really, and and man, I look fat that day. You know, it's like
Camera adds like 50 pounds at least.
yeah,
You know?
at least. So yeah, but it was we had kicked around when we were in South Korea because we watched YouTube. I mean, and I found ARMS and Keeping It Dutch, Simple Life Reclaimed, all those channels that are in this community because I was looking at Oklahoma because it'd been on and off, okay, we're going to go, we're not going to go, and this went on for a while. And so I started watching all these channels to see, okay, what's over there? And Mike's like, oh, we could do that. We could totally do a YouTube channel. It'd be fun. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, that kind of got it going. And then one day he just went outside and started filming. It was like, all right, I guess we're doing this. But we had kicked it around when we were over there too, and probably should have started one there since we were traveling. It would have been great. We could have had a good travel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a great vibe to your channel now because
thank
it's just fun to come on to your lives and talk with everybody.
You and Mike just seem like you just mesh so well.
Yeah, well, and we
It works really well.
yeah, we like talking to people and helping people, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Do you guys ever get addicted to lives?
Yeah, I think for a while, I was watching him all the time.
Yeah.
And then now he is. It's like he's on there all the time. I'm like, yeah, I kind of need a break, you know. But I'll go on ones that we watch a lot and talk to people. But it's like every once in a while, it's like, yeah, okay, I need a little bit of a break.
We always say we need to plan better. Like, we never plan our lives. We'll just be like out and about and be like, oh, hey, we should do a live.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah. We were actually going to do a whole bunch on this trip, but we've never traveled much with we have a cell phone company from Kansas, and we discovered that when you're roaming, they cut off your data real quick.
Oh,
so
really?
we were like, we're going to live stream, a whole bunch of the trip, and then we went outside of Kansas, and then after about an hour or two, we realized, oh, they're not giving us any more data. They put you on this roaming data, which is like super slow.
Oh, wow.
Like you can barely even watch videos.
Oh.
Yeah, it's too bad because they keep you awake when you're doing a live while you're driving.
Right. Yeah. Well, and we did when we went to Wyoming for the combat vets thing. Yeah, we did lives all the way. It's like, okay, let's just do lives. And it gives you something to do while you're, so you don't get bored.
Yeah, it makes the time pass really quick.
Yep.
Who's the guy that's addicted to lives that's always having a live nowadays?
Oh, that's Bellu.
Velvet, yeah.
Every time I go on, it's he's either having one or he's on someone else's.
Yeah, he's on a lot. I see him on a lot.
And he's so funny. He cracks me up. because he'll say the title will be like quick 30-minute live, and like it's not one that I catch live. I'll see it later, and the title will be like quick 30-minute live, and I'll be like total time 4 hours.
Yeah, Scott at Rambling with the Brooms, he was doing lives a lot for a while, and he still does, and we love him. But he was doing like Thursday, Procrastination Thursday, and then he was doing one on Friday, and then he was on Saturday. I'm like, Scott.
It's like, does your spouse ever see you?
When does your wife see you? But yeah, he's a good guy though. He's a super nice guy. I really like him.
Yeah, we're still trying to get everybody figured out.
Yeah. And we had Drew's Lens. I don't know if you watched Drew.
What's the channel called?
Drew, well, it used to be Dutch Creek.
Oh, that's the name of it?
It used to be Dutch Creek Cabin, and then he switched it to Drew's Lens. He's out on the road.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, he's out on the road in his Volkswagen bus. He left from Arkansas, and then he came over here. He stayed with us 2 nights. It was supposed to be 1, but then he forgot he's having everybody sign the bus.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, I forgot to have you guys sign the bus. I'll just come back Wednesday. I'm like, I can drive over to Shawnee. He's like, yeah, but Mike's got to work. And he said, I'll just come back. Yes, thank you. So, yeah, he came back. But now he's up. He was going to Washington State, but he just went through Yellowstone. Hopefully not in that section. But yeah, he's a great kid. Love him too. So, yeah. And again, next time you guys come through, I'll plan it out better, and you guys can stay.
We never planned well anyway.
I know. We didn't know when we'd be coming through or how it was going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I was like, oh, I'm going to Waco, and Mike's leaving for Baltimore, and I didn't want you guys to.
No, we wouldn't expect that. Like someone that you just meet.
Yeah.
Especially like your husband away, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was a little bit. It was like, you know, but now we know.
Yeah.
And
And if you guys are ever up in Kansas, come see us.
Yeah.
We're actually thinking of doing a bed and breakfast out of our home. So
Yeah.
we might have that set up eventually.
That's starting okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Yep. Everybody that stay, I always feed them, and it's like,
Oh, we do.
Oh, maybe we'll be coming next week.
Yeah.
I do a pretty good breakfast.
We have so many things we're backed up on. It was kind of neat because, like, I've been saying, like, oh, the summer's going to slip by. We're not going to we're not going to have any fun because since we just moved into our house in December, and you can't do anything in the winter in Kansas because it's just so stinking cold.
Yeah.
So now we're just like doing all the projects, putting in fences and doing things like that, and we just out of the blue, like my pastor, our old pastor from Oregon, says he texts me and he says, "Hey, check out what I just bought," and it's a house in Largo, Florida.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, first I thought he was joking because he's kind of a jokester, and so I was just like, "Oh, awesome," or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do a vacation rental." And then I was like, "Oh, well, when do we get to go?" And he said, "Hey, you can go right now if you want." He said, "We're not opening until the 12th." So he's all, "Stay as long as you like up until the 12th."
Right.
So then we were just like, "Oh, we should make this work because, you know, it'd be a few free nights of a place.
Right.
And it's not far from the beaches and stuff." So.
And you got to get lost in Memphis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike was trying to tell us how to get, but it was so delayed. Like we'd like make 2 turns, and then he'd be like, "Oh, he said we were supposed to turn back there."
Yeah. Too late.
Yeah, I think that Memphis is where our data ran out, and,
Oh, no.
and then we were just like, "Oh, I guess we
figured,
can't do
okay.
this anymore."
Yeah.
And we're with AT&T, so it's pretty.
Is it pretty scary?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I haven't had too much problem. You get in some places that don't have great signal. I don't have great signal at my house. It's kind of sketchy out there, but
We have like good cell coverage in our house, but not data.
Yeah.
So like we can't stream from our. It's kind of frustrating. We can't stream from our phones or our computers because we don't have any kind of like our computer. It's like an antenna that points at the nearest town. That's how they beam it to us.
right, yeah.
And it's slow.
You have broadband, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, because we tried to do that live with you. That was our first time ever trying that.
Oh.
And it was so like jumpy and.
We
It's
have
like we don't have a lot of choices.
We have broadband, but we have a tower that's like right there. So our Wi-Fi is great. But
Yeah, that's what we need.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you can speed it up, but it's like really expensive. It's like $100 a month or something,
Yeah.
right, for the fastest. And the fastest isn't even that fast. It's
Right.
not like it's nothing compared to like fiber. Or
Oh
anything else.
no, yeah,
So it's like we're going to pay all that much, and it still might be somewhat sketchy. I don't know.
yeah.
So we got to figure that out.
You just have to do all the lives at mom's house.
Yeah, what we're thinking about doing. So her mom she lives in the town of Beloit, and so we're thinking about setting up a little studio there. So she has one of these round sheds. I don't know what you call them. And the guy that sold her house has been renting it, but he's supposed to be moving out soon. So it's like maybe we'll just set up a little studio in there, and then we can do lives. She's got fast internet, so.
Awesome.
And she said, like, you guys can do whatever you want. I don't, she doesn't need it. She doesn't have anything to store in it or anything.
Awesome.
So maybe that'll work out.
Good.
Although it would be nice to have it at our house.
Yeah, we got lucky with our internet, I think, because like I said, we got good Wi-Fi, but it's 360 Communications is who we go through, but we do pay pretty good price for it, so.
Yeah, we probably
You need
just
it.
need to pony up the dough. If we want to be serious about this, I guess.
Yeah, because we do want to eventually like make a livable wage. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah?
Do you guys make a little? Are you starting to make a little something on yours? Or?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
We had a few months where we got some checks and they weren't, I think the most we ever got was like 300 or something. And then we haven't gotten a check from them because they won't pay you until you've made over $100.
Right.
So I think the last one we got was in April. And we haven't gotten one since then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm still working. Give me a little bit more. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm always telling her, like, I watch people doing the lives and stuff, and they're like, oh, we got to get so-and-so to 1,000.
Yeah.
And I know everybody wants to get paid. And, our other channel, we're almost at 5,000. And we make, like, between $200 and $400 a month. And no rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
We were making 400 for a while, and then all of a sudden it went way down. And we had a couple actually that were like 150, and then now it's like just over 200. And that's with 5,000, and it's because we have a couple videos that are like not viral, but for us viral,
Right.
Like our biggest video has like 500,000 views.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
we don't have anything like that.
Yeah, but it's not a channel that like I can see like a huge future with, because you have to constantly be making videos to do this.
Right.
Because like that, we had that one video, and it was just like our pony for a while. We were just riding that video. But now it's started to go down, and it's you can't figure it out,
Yeah.
And so it's like I always am telling her, I'm like, oh, these people are so excited to get 1,000. I'm like, I wish they knew that like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Unless you've got some videos up in the hundreds of thousands of views, you're not really making anything.
Yeah, Outdoor Adventures with Carrie. She did a really funny video here recently about, I'm going to tell all the secrets about being a YouTuber, and and she's like, yeah, we're all like, really, not like everybody else, we're special, and then she's like, and it was all satire, all of it was satire, and she's like, we all have a crew that, secretly we have a crew that goes and films
I
us.
wish.
Yeah, right. And she's like saying all this, and I said, oh, don't forget, we're just millionaires right out the box.
Right?
But yeah, I feel bad for all those people that are so excited, and then they're going to get there, and they're going to be like,
what?
Oh, I made 10 cents this month?
Right.
Oh, now I've got a quarter or whatever, It's like...
My biggest one was my birthday video. I'm thinking, I can't even believe anybody's going to watch me for my birthday, but okay. I'm glad they did. That's nice.
Did you have the word cake in it?
The
title?
No.
Oh.
I got an Oculus, and I'm pretty sure that's why, because I had that as a tag.
What is an Oculus?
It's a virtual reality headset.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had gotten one, and they're very popular right now. So yeah, I think that's why. But I think I made $7.34 off that video. I mean, it's like All right, $7.34 I didn't have before. That's fine. I'm not that concerned with it. But like I said, we're doing it to have fun.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
And we've met great people.
Great.
And that's what is kind of, it drives us. And it's like when we got helped, because Simple Life Reclaimed and Country Road Cure, they were awesome to us. And they invited us out to their place for Freedom Weekend last year. And we went out there and they're like, okay, we're going to do a live and we're going to put it on our community pages and we're going to blast it out. And first live that we'd done one, but this was crazy. And the chat was just rolling through because they're all bigger channels. It was Jared Crocker and all these people, Cold Beer Ranch, and all these bigger channels, and it was just, the chat was crazy, and I was trying to keep up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so they were awesome to us, and it's like, okay, we want to pay it forward, and that's why, we were reaching out to channels and saying, hey, we want to help because we were helped.
Great.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of neat though too, because you never know when you're going to have that viral video,
Right.
because you guys are, what do they call it? Qualified, or what's the term?
Monetized.
Yeah.
Like you'll get money on it.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of what keeps us going too. It's like you never know when you're going to hit that.
Right.
We
right.
found that anything to do with gators.
I saw that. I'm like, dang, they're doing good with the gator videos.
I know that was crazy. Like so bizarre. We're like,
Oh, and that's why I said cake. Because I had this video of this upside down building, which was really cool. And I was wondering, why isn't anybody watching this? Why are they watching this other video that's kind of boring? And then I noticed that the ones that have food in the titles you really get. So I said, this house, or this place, serves pineapple upside down cakes.
My friend who had Downtown 66 channel, she was at our house. And I was fixing burritos, and she's breakfast burritos, and she's like, oh, I'll video you making the breakfast burrito, and I'm like, and she titled it how to roll a breakfast burrito, and it was just a short, and it went crazy. I'm like, what the heck?
oh, I got a funny.
Because it's good food.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story. Our number one video right now on our money making channel is the easiest video I ever made on that channel. It's me putting in, those car window, the little shields at the top? Mm-hmm. It's me installing them, and you just literally pop them in.
Oh, wow.
And that's our biggest, and I think we're making like $20-some a month on it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've made these really complex videos, and I think like, oh, this is going to be big. Nobody watches it. Yeah. And then that one, and then I thought, oh, these are popular. So I told my dad, hey, I'll buy you a set if you want, and then I'll just film myself putting them in,
right.
Maybe, on the coattails of that. So I bought him a set, put it in.
Nothing.
Nothing. I think I've maybe made like $5 or something.
It's a crazy thumbnail because he has a T-shirt that says non-essential, and he has this really goofy look on his face.
Yeah, and my hair was all messy.
Yeah.
I think I had just gotten out of bed or something. And so I'm like, I guess that was it. I didn't make it. But it's just like you can't really figure anything out on YouTube.
No, it's hit or miss most of the time.
Yeah, isn't YouTube the most bizarre employer? Because they're like, make videos for us, we'll pay you. We won't tell you how. Yeah. We won't tell you how much. We won't tell you what we're really looking for. But just trust us. It's like, why don't you tell us what you want? So, or maybe they don't even know.
Well, they do have the creator studio, but, I don't know how much help that really is, but
Oh, and then we watched one YouTube guru, there's all those gurus that have, like, tons of followers.
Oh, yeah.
And one guy said, oh, do this certain, it was ad, so you have your different ad types, and he said, uncheck the box for these certain types.
For skippable ads, because
that'll take away from these more valuable ads, and so we were like, oh, well, this guy knows, right? So we went through like all of our videos and unmonetized those certain types of ads. Guess what our revenue did? It went, it took a huge note to that. So we had it that way. I was like, well, let's give it a little time. So we waited like a month and a half. And then I was like, I can't take this anymore. We're like literally losing money. So
I usually do, I uncheck the one for non-skippable. just because I've had people complain.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've got so many ads. Well, I don't set the ads up. I don't.
Right.
But I did do away with that because Rochelle from Brampton Gardener said, oh my gosh, she said, you guys have got some of the longest ads on your... One was 45 minutes long.
Non-skippable?
And no, it was
Okay.
it was a skippable. I was like, I thought I marked everything to be skippable. She said it is, but I'm just going to let it run through.
So you'll get your money.
48 minutes.
But yeah, if you get those, they are pretty valuable, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. In fact, our pastor that was telling to let us use his vacation rental, we got him started in YouTube because he found out when we were doing these DIY projects, and he's a real handy man. Like, he knows a lot more than I do. And so I was like, why don't you start a channel? You can do better stuff than I can. And so he started it, and it was funny because he was like, you know, at the beginning it was like, oh, it says I've made, and this was before you had to have 1,000.
Right.
You know, anybody could be monetized. And right here.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And
Are you sure I can pay
no.
I can
No.
pay for mine?
No.
I can pay for yours.
We feel sorry for you for having to be here with us. What? This is your compensation.
Thank you.
But anyway, he kept saying like, oh, I've only made 10 cents so far, and we just kept telling him, you just got to keep plugging away, like it'll come, it just takes time. And
Yeah.
and then
Plus
all of a
it's
sudden,
really low tech.
he did this video for Costco hearing aids. Like, he went in Costco, which is funny because you're not supposed to film in Costco. They have like signs and stuff. But he went to the hearing guy and like he's like, I'm gonna film this. And the guy was like, oh, okay, I don't care, or whatever. He filmed it, and he got some sort of like long form ads on all of his videos. And he just shot like way past what we were doing, and we've been doing this for years. And we were like, hey, that's not fair. No, we were happy for him, but it was like this one type of ad.
Yeah.
Just,
And you can never, like I said, you're right. You can't tell. Like I had the one that I titled, "This is just us building a hoop coop."
I saw that one.
Not a tutorial, and that's what I titled it. It went crazy for a little while, and I wasn't, like yours, but I mean, it was like 4,000 views, which was big
Wow.
for us.
Yeah, that's
and it was like, okay, this is strange because I really didn't give it a
Hoop coop. That's the key word.
it must be it. This is just us.
Who knows?
yeah, it's so hard to figure out like what YouTube wants. Yeah, you just can't.
Unless people were looking for the NBC show, just us or whatever it
That's
is.
true.
Oh, yeah.
This is us.
This is us. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we will put on a short, and we'll be all excited. We'll be like, it's got 3,000 views in 1 hour. But
Right.
then it'll stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Well,
about
and you can
shorts.
tell because it'll even say in the analytics, YouTube's recommending it.
Yeah.
And that's when it's going crazy. And I'm like, why are they recommending it? What is it? What can I do
Yeah,
to
why
get
can't
them
they
to
tell
do
you?
this all the time?
Yeah, it's like if you tell me, I'll make more. I swear.
Yeah. Then we'll all make
But like-
money and
but
we'll all
like-
be happy.
But like me with the window things, I actually did one for my dad and I did another one for us later when we got a new car, and neither of them. So I'm like, it's obviously not the window things. Like she said, probably the thumbnail or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So,
But yeah, it's like if they would just tell us what they wanted, we could make it for them. But we're having fun. It's a good time.
and that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
We're
Fun
happy
folks.
that you welcomed us to the Homesteader community. It's
Yeah.
a great community because
Yeah.
if you go on other lives of different people, like people just saying like, oh, we're helping out new YouTubers or what have you. But
Oh,
they're
there's a
not
lot of
homesteaders.
there's a lot of them that aren't really. They're just sub for sub kind of channels, and that's not what we.
And they just
Right.
kind of ignore you too when you
Yeah.
try to talk on live. So it's not really like people just wanting to get to know other people.
Right. Ridge Life was the big one when we first started. Ridge Life helped us so much, and he did a watch and grow, and I'd go on there and I'd talk to people, and I always just tried to get very involved with the lives so I could get to know people, and that helped us a lot. So
Yeah, there's a lot of characters out there.
yeah, oh yeah.
And then we even tried once with Cornfed. We tried one of those campaigns where you pay YouTube to like show your videos, and that was a complete scam in my opinion.
Oh wow!
Because
I've never even heard of that.
yeah, you can. Well, it's just you just pay to promote a video.
Oh.
Yeah, you can pick any video and do a campaign. So it's just like in your feed. Sometimes you'll see a random
Oh, yeah,
video
yeah.
and it'll say like 8 or something. And we got like, it shot up. We got like 60 subscribers from it. And then within the next week, they all disappeared.
Right.
And I think they were mostly fake accounts too, which is where I was like, are we paying YouTube? And they should have some way of stopping bots.
Right.
Because a lot of the accounts, you can see, oh, so-and-so subscribed, and I go to their channel, like there's nothing there at their channel.
Right.
And it looks fake. It has like a funny icon. And I'm like, these are all fake.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they all started disappearing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so we quit that right away.
Well, and the thing is if YouTube checks to see if they're real by how they interact. So if they go on your channel and they subscribe, but then they don't leave comments and they don't watch more than 30 seconds of a video, YouTube says, oh, they're not real people, and they'll get rid of them, even if they are.
Yeah.
So it goes away. But then if that person comes back and starts watching or leaves a comment, then and resubscribes at that point because they've unsubscribed them, then you get them back. But
sometimes you have to do it 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah.
I've had that where I'm like, I know I'm subscribed to this person. And I'll go on their channel and it says unsubscribe.
Yep.
It's crazy. You probably need to get going.
Yeah, I gotta go get my chickens in bed. They're all. I'm sure they've gone to bed, but I've got to close the coop up. Otherwise, the raccoons will be having dinner.
We don't want to be responsible for that.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, here, let's
With
have a little
pleasure.
farewell. So thanks for joining us for Tacos with Terry. We hope you've all enjoyed it. And thanks, Terry, for meeting up with us.
Well, thank you, and thank you for dinner. Y'all didn't have to do that.
Our pleasure.
And we'll see you around YouTube.
All right.
Until you guys come to visit in Kansas.
All right. And you got to come back down.
Yep.
And Mike, no running away next time, Mike.
Yeah. He's like that sometimes.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
So we're parked out by the lake to let you know that if you liked that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you go to the description below, you can find a link to our online store where you can buy all kinds of fun corn-fed merchandise, like this one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Or if you want to go a step further and support us in our corn-fed endeavors, you can buy us an ear of corn or two by
going to patreon.com/cornfedlife, and for as little as $1 a month, you can help support some starving YouTubers.
Thanks for watching.